Hey everybody, hope you're having a great day. It's Corey coming at you from the vehicle storage lot down in beautiful Southern California where we store our trailer. I know it's been a while since I posted anything since that initial walkthrough video I did of our trailer. A lot's really happened in our lives, both as a family, professionally, geographically over the last year. I haven't really posted much about the trailer conversion project, but now that we're kind of settled, I'm really looking forward to getting back into it and showing you guys some of the progress we've made and showing you some of the additions that we've made. So this video is really going to be all about the electrical system. Over the last year, I've really been able to make some great progress on that part of the build, and as it can be one of the most intimidating parts of doing a trailer conversion or a schoolie or a van build, whatever your case may be, it's also one of the most important. So I just want to give you guys a quick little update. This is going to be a very brief overview of everything that I've done so far, and then maybe if the situation warrants, or maybe if people find it interesting, I can go back and do more of a deep dive later. But thanks for watching, and look forward to showing you some of the footage. All right, so before I get started with the electrical, I just wanted to show you some of the progress that I've made. It looks completely different, obviously, from when I first showed you guys the walkthrough of this empty trailer back in Florida when I got it about 1.5 years ago. And yeah, man, just been trying to grind on it little by little, get things knocked out. As you can see, I got some upper cabinets installed, I got some lower cabinets installed, I got the framing set up for the platform for the refrigerator, where that guy's ultimately gonna go. Sorry for the mess, I know it's a disaster in here. It's kind of been a construction zone over the last several months, but yeah, anyway, those cabinets, I was super proud and happy with the way they turned out. All oak, solid wood, everything's secured nice to the walls of the trailer and the studs, so hopefully that'll be something that lasts for years to come. As part of the electrical system, I went ahead and got this light fixture put in. I put an outlet up here on the top. I'm also going to put a shelf under it. I think that's going to be like a cell phone, tablet charging station for devices and things of that nature. I got the Victron battery monitor set up. That's the switch for our light fixture up top. I got two dimmer switches. I got 2 different zones of interior lights installed, and then I got these 2 12-volt switches. One is for the exterior lights on the very back of the trailer, and then that other switch is for the exterior lights on the side. I think I've already posted the video of this max air fan installation, but I took the cover shroud that I got with the fan, painted that black to go with the roof ridges. I think it looks super nice, matches the black in the roof. You can see the puck lights I got going in here. Those are the lights that are on my dimmer switch, so those are super nice. When I built the cabinets, I also went ahead and installed some under cabinet lighting. I was kind of hesitant on whether or not I needed or wanted to do that, but I asked the wife, and she said if you're going to build the cabinets, go ahead and go for it. When they're on at night, it really provides a nice ambiance, and so I'm actually really happy that I went ahead and did that. It's definitely worth it. And then, as you could probably see when I was showing you those switches, I went ahead and installed some tongue and groove pine boards only on this wall. I haven't got to the other one yet. This is still kind of a work in progress. You can see that one way down there that hasn't gotten painted yet. I know people are gonna say it adds a lot of weight, and I'm sure it does, but I have a 3/4 ton diesel truck with a nice Cummins engine in it, and I'm paid for the beefy axles on this trailer, so weight's really not that big of a concern for me. This thing, my truck pulls it no problem. Yeah, so I really wasn't concerned that much about the weight. Plus, we don't haul a lot of heavy stuff. The heaviest thing we're ever gonna haul are a few dirt bikes, and so I really wasn't too concerned about the weight aspect of the wood. We really like the way it turned out and how it looks in the trailer. All right, so let's get down to business with this electrical setup. This is probably, like I said, one of the most intimidating parts of any build, simply because it can be challenging, it can be confusing, and if you don't have the right components and you don't do the job right, it can also be very, very dangerous. So understandably, you know, it can be scary to tackle, but what I'm hoping is that after people see this, that they'll gain some confidence and know that they can do this too. But this is where the system resides. I went ahead and put it inside the lower cabinetry of our kitchenette that we're gonna have. I wanted the system to be accessible. I wanted it to be in a place where I could take the batteries in and out if I needed to. I wanted to have plenty of room to be able to work on it if I needed to. And I just wanted it to be overall easy access. So this is kind of where I ended up putting everything. And this is the layout that I ultimately decided on. The layout is one of the things that I really can't overstress enough the importance of. It's one of those things that not a whole lot of people think about. It's not what I thought about in the first time I ever did a cargo trailer, but by taking the extra time and really thinking about how I wanted to lay out the system and where each component needed to be relative to the other component, saved me so much time, and I think it makes the entire system look a lot more streamlined. The other thing that I really wanted to talk about that I think could be helpful is this little tool right here. Now, this is not a plug for this company. They don't pay me to advertise for them or anything like that. It's just a product that I discovered about 2 years ago, and it's something that I really believe in, and I will proudly talk about something that I think is great and that can be very usable. So this guy, Nate Yarborough, he owns this company called Explorers.life, and on his website, I'll put the link to his website in the description below, but on his website, he has a variety of different tools. A lot of it is component based in the sense that he has a lot of different hardware components like, you know, inverters, chargers, wires, hookups, all those types of things. But he also has these wiring diagrams. And little did I know, this was probably going to be the best $9 I've ever spent in my life. It does cost $9 for the download, but it's a digital PDF file. And once you pay for this download, it's a high-res PDF, so you can zoom in, and it is detailed down to the individual ferrules and wire connectors that you need for any given system. And what you can do is you can take the system that you want to build, plug in all the specs on his website, and then it will spit out one of these custom wiring diagrams where it shows you literally everything that you need to build that system, not only the right way, but the safe way, the safest way. And like I said, I just found this to be an invaluable resource when I was doing the electrical for our trailer this time. And it's really in contrast to the way I did my electrical system in my last trailer. I'll try to flash up a picture to kind of show you the difference between the two, but man, it's night and day in the terms of the way it's laid out, the functionality of it, and just the overall design and the way that it's put together. I couldn't be more pleased. And if you're ever on the fence about doing your own electrical, or you don't feel like you have the ability to, look into Nate's website, check out one of these wiring diagrams, and I guarantee you it will simplify things down in such a way that you will feel comfortable tackling your electrical project. So there's two primary ways that you're going to be able to get power to this trailer. One is going to be by using this standard 30 amp hookup that, you know, will hook up to almost any electrical site or any electrical pedestal at your standard campgrounds. And this is the outlet, or the inlet that goes from the outside and feeds power from the campground pedestal to the inside of the trailer. This is the other side of that 30 amp inlet. And here I'm using some 10 gauge, 10 AWG 3-stranded wire here to go from the 30 amp hookup. And don't worry, there's no power run to this, so it's completely safe. It goes from the inlet, and if you trace that wire, it goes all the way down under the box, and where it ultimately ends up is inside our 3000 watt inverter. And from that inverter, I've got some other wire. I think it's, I can't remember off the top of my head. I want to say it's also 10 gauge wire. It's that big black one way back there. That one actually snakes all the way around, and it comes back to this panel here. And inside this panel, I'm not going to open it up right now, but inside this panel are not only my 50 amp main breaker, but also my my individual 15 amp breakers for all of my 120 volt circuits. So that's how that works. You've got your white wire. 30 amp power comes in from the campsite or the pedestal, however you're powering it. Could be a generator too, by the way. 30 amp power comes into the rig, goes all the way to the 3000 watt inverter, and then from the inverter, that kind of acts like a power conditioner as well. From the 3000 watt inverter, snakes to your 120 volt breaker side, and that's going to power the 120 volt circuits within the camp. The other way we can get power into the trailer is by using the 600 watt solar panels that we have mounted on the roof. And for that, the electricity is going to come from the solar panels, and I have a disconnect switch here that will allow me to isolate those panels. So if I don't want them going to the system, I can pull that lever on the inside, and that's going to disconnect the power coming from the panels from the rest of the electrical system. But if it's on, the power is going to go from the solar panels to the MPPT charge controller, and then from that charge controller, power is going to go to the Lynx distributor. And the Lynx distributor is also hooked up to my two 200 amp hour Power Queen lithium ion batteries. So the system, the solar power can both charge the batteries, and as long as the batteries are charged, you can use the stored electricity within those batteries to go back to your 3000 watt inverter, and then you can also power your 120 volt circuits within the camper. The Lynx distributor also is the primary vehicle for making sure that all of our 12 volt items in this trailer are going to be powered. So things like the lights, the eventual water pump, I'm trying to think of what other 12 volt things we're probably going to have, but yeah, anything that's 12 volt, the Lynx distributor is going to be the primary guy for handling those things. And then what I like about this panel here is that this panel actually integrates both 120 volt and 12 volt circuits into it. So it's kind of a nice all-in-one package. I built this box here. I custom built this box out of oak to house this panel. If you're interested in how I did that, I think I posted a video on that as well. And then, yeah, like I said before, I got two 200 amp hour lithium ion Power Queen batteries. I built some custom wood framing inside this cabinet so that those guys won't be rattling around and sliding everywhere while we're going down the road. So 400 amp hours of battery power total. We went camping out in Joshua Tree National Park in December, and I don't think the batteries ever got below like 85%. They do a great job as long as you're out somewhere sunny. We don't really use a lot of power anyway, but more than capable of powering some off-grid adventures. And then one of the pieces that's really important to point out is going to be your master disconnect switch. If you're building a system, that's going to be very important to integrate in there, because you want to have a way to cut off the system in its entirety if you need to work on it, or if there's something wrong or there's an emergency of some sort. But yeah, so that's kind of a brief overview of the electrical system. If people are interested, I might go into more of a deep dive later, but it's not really reinventing the wheel here. There's tons and tons of content out there where people have talked about how to build these systems by hand and how to custom build them. So I just wanted to kind of show you guys what I did within our rig, and how I used the front of the trailer and the front of this little kitchenette area to house everything. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully people enjoyed it. And like I said before, I'm really looking forward to posting some more content and showing you guys some more of the progress and detailing some of the things that we're going to be doing in this rig for days to come. All right. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and we'll talk soon. Later.